Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Yoders Farm. I'm Eldon and Lola's here with me again this morning, and we're going to talk for a few minutes and then get back out to whatever else we need to do today. Lowell, welcome to the podcast.
Good to be here, Eldon. Good to be here.
How's this week been? We're about a week late on this episode, so that might give you an idea of the fact that we've been busy, which we always say. But
yeah, I feel like we always complain about that and the weather, which this podcast should be right down the normal alley then.
Yeah. A number of weeks ago, we talked about some misconceptions about farmers and mentioned that they're always complaining about something. So I guess we're fitting that mold too.
Complaining about something or complaining about the weather?
That in particular, I think, was what we talked about. But
because, and I'll defend farmers.
It's
here,
okay.
It's because what they do is so closely tied to the weather.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
I mean, if you're heading into your office in the city, it is a little different than if you're... Anyway.
It's a touchy subject. Get Lowell started and he can go for hours.
Yeah, but it's been a busy week, obviously, because we've been trying to record for a couple of days here, and I've never made it happen till now. So,
nah, it's fine. So we opened the corn maze last Saturday. That was our first day for the fall season. But before that, we've been planting strawberries and some other things. What all have you been up to?
Yeah, I think, getting ready for fall. We have a lot of setup to do. We have tents to get put in place. You and I and some other folks were through the corn maze doing some last minute trimming and getting the waypoints out for our corn maze app game that we have. And of course, setting up the big giant corn pit or corn, I think Dad says it had a different name this year. I can't remember what it was.
I just thought it was
corn
a corn
box.
pit.
I think it's a corn box.
That works.
Anyway, have over a ton of corn in there for children to play. Anyway, there's a lot of setup for fall. Our fall season, so we've been doing that in conjunction with planting strawberries. So we planted a lot of our earlier, the ones that need to be planted earlier before, and then we kind of shifted focus to preparing for fall things. And now that we are open, we have shifted focus back to strawberry planting. And we're over half done, and I hope to make big progress today. And we might get a few hours to plant tomorrow, though we'll be open. And
it kind of depends how
our help situation is.
Yeah,
and then hopefully make a big stab at it again on Monday and be nearly done.
That will be a relief for all of us, as long as they root good and come on.
Well, that's another thing that we should talk about probably. This has actually been quite a challenging establishment period for strawberries. It's been very hot and dry, which, dry is, we have this, the fields are all set up to be irrigated through drip irrigation.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been, even ahead of time, I was watering the beds a lot to get them well hydrated so that when we put the plants out, they're getting stuck down into moist soil.
Sure.
But it's been so hot that we actually, yesterday morning, hooked up some overhead irrigation sprinklers so we can sprinkle water on top. That helps cool everything down and helps finish saturating the rows, as well as we can also run the drip. So we're attacking the problem from two sides, the top and the bottom, and hopefully we can get those rows wet. Also, part of our field is the soil isn't as nice. And if the soil isn't as nice, if you have any clods or those type of things, the beds don't hold the moisture that the nicer soil does.
Makes sense.
So I think some places where the soil is nice, we will not have to set up the sprinklers. At least that's my hope. But we went on and set them up the other spots, and already the plants are looking much more perky.
Yeah, as soon as you got it set up, we got a little bit of rain last night. Not scads,
just a little shower, which was very helpful. It probably actually was enough to do some good for the strawberries, and
it's the first rain in a month.
Pretty much
maybe.
A month, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we talked about when we were making the strawberry beds, the hills, we got rained out once.
Oh, yeah.
I think that literally was probably some of the last decent rain we've had. So it's been very dusty.
Yeah, everything's starting to dry down and get crispy.
Yeah, so that rain will help a little bit. But if it gets as warm tomorrow as it's supposed to get, it will be a distant memory. But
yeah, I think I saw this morning they were backing down to 88, which isn't as bad as 89, but who knows? And it's not that big a difference.
So anyway, strawberry planting is on pace. We may be a little bit later than some years, but we have chosen to somewhat, because of the crazy heat, we would, it doesn't do a lot of good if you plant a plant and it dies.
Yeah.
So we're trying to take good care of the plants that we're planting, and instead of just pushing ahead to get the job done.
Yeah. It does look like some cooler temperatures are coming in
towards the end of next week. So
we're definitely that time of the year. So
now it's high time to get the strawberries in, right?
Yeah. As soon as we start next week, we add field trips to the equation. So should be plenty of things to do going forwards too.
Yeah, I thought too. We could talk a little. We're also harvesting pumpkins because we do fall things, and pumpkins mean fall, and the heat isn't the greatest for the pumpkins. It can cause some issues, but so far I don't think they've really been hurt by the heat. Probably actually, the dry is actually not horribly bad for pumpkins, because if you get a too wet fall, like last fall, we had some issues with some pumpkins keeping as well in the fields. But it looks like a decent pumpkin year. I don't think it's crazy, but not horrible. So
yeah. You were saying, did we talk about this in the last podcast, that we have over 50 or so varieties this year?
Yeah, probably so. I haven't actually sat down to do the math, but
yeah,
likely so.
But you were talking yesterday a little bit about some of the varieties that normally do quite well didn't do as well this year, and some new ones maybe did better. So I guess,
yeah, some of the pumpkins can they set fruit different ways. So some of them are a little more heat tolerant than others. So depending on your summer and your warm nights and so forth, maybe one variety, one orange regular jack-o'-lantern pumpkin in particular, you can see a difference from one section of rows to the other section of rows.
Okay.
I just think the other one sets better in the heat. That's just how stuff does.
But next year might be the exact opposite. Who knows?
You never know.
Yeah.
That's kind of why, it sort of fits into our whole philosophy of kind of how we do farming. You just kind of spread your risks. We don't just do strawberries. We try to do several different things, spread our exposure over several different enterprises. And
of course, you enjoy growing all different kinds of pumpkins anyway, so there's that too. All right, I think that pretty much covers all the stuff we've been up to. Anything else we should add before we wrap this up?
Did you want to talk about funnel cakes that you've been making in the snack shack?
I don't know what exactly I would say about them. They're about as good as last year, or they are as good as last year.
I'll take your word for it. I haven't had one yet.
I had a little piece of one or two. I can't remember. Yeah, things are going well in the snack shack. We are doing milkshakes for the first time in the fall. This fall we added that this spring, so that's something that is new-ish at the snack shack. But
what flavors are you doing?
Chocolate, vanilla, and Snickers, I think, is the three we're doing right now. We've been experimenting with a possible fall flavor, but haven't nailed anything down there yet. So maybe we'll do that at some point.
Apple cider slushies?
Yep, plenty of those, as long as the slushy machine can keep up. On hot days, it tends to be a little bit, we could do with 2 slushy machines on a hot day, but on a busy hot day, most of our hot days aren't, but so busy and we can keep up just fine. So, yep, plenty of snacky type things available in the snack shack. So I think that's pretty much it for this episode. It's about 7:40 in the morning. We're all still kind of waking up, so.
Are we?
Well, you are, obviously.
Okay.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening.
I'm on my second cup of coffee. I think I'm pretty good to go.
Yeah, I need to get my second cup, so. Were you about to say something?
Well, I was just going to say someone's walking in, so we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. If you're interested in more podcast episodes, you can head over to yodersfarm.com/podcast, and you can find links to subscribe in your favorite podcast app, or just search for Yoders Farm in your podcast app, and it should pop up.
And if you're interested in brownies, I've been sitting beside about 25 brownies while I record this podcast, and they do smell good. So
they do smell good. I will attest to that. Yeah.
I am not planning to eat one, but if you would like one, please come out and get one.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you again in about 2 weeks or so.